What's up? Welcome to the J Street Moto Garage. Today we are going to be reviewing the Memphis Shades Road Warrior fairing. I'm going to walk you through what I like about it. I'm going to walk you through what I don't like about it, which is an extremely short list. And we're going to talk about the Road King special platform in general and how easy it is to change the look of the bike, as well as change your experience while you're riding. Hope you enjoy. What's up? J Street Moto here, and welcome back to the channel. If you like what I'm doing, please subscribe to the channel, like the video, etc. You know the drill. Here is a review of the Memphis Shades Road Warrior fairing.
What's up? So welcome back to the garage. It's a lot cleaner, as you can tell. Spent some time out here cleaning it up this weekend. I figured I would do a quick review on the Memphis Shades Road Warrior fairing because I wanted to get some pictures of Darla without the fairing on this weekend. So I pulled the fairing off real quick. I put back on this cover. Unfortunately, that cover cannot stay on there when the fairing is there, so I have to go back to the standard ring that's around that light for the fairing to fit. But while it was off, I thought I would talk a little bit about the Memphis Shade Road Warrior fairing, as well as just, you know, the Road King platform in general. One of the things I really dig about this platform from Harley Davidson is you can literally change the way it looks almost every day if you choose to. You can put everything on here, from a bat wing that is quick detach to a fairing like the one that I've got, to not having any fairing. And I got to tell you, when I was riding it yesterday, it did remind me of why I'm kind of digging the fairing to begin with. You never really realize how much wind you are eating, and that effect the wind has on you, then when you take the windshield off and go for a ride without it on. So in any case, let's talk about the fairing. So here is the Memphis Shades Road Warrior fairing. And I think I said it before, what I've got on here, I believe, is the 11-inch windshield. I think that's the tallest you can go and still keep it that darkest tint. And that was something that I really wanted. So to mount this to the bike, it's actually a pretty easy setup. Now I will say this, when you order your fairing, the mounting kit, and the windshield are all ordered separately. At least when I bought mine, the fairing and the mounting brackets were kind of a package deal. They were together. So the only thing I had to pay for separately was the windshield. And like I said, I can order 3 other different size windshields if I want, and just swap it out for longer trips if I decide that I want something taller. The whole thing is really easy to mount because it mounts to you replace these bolts that hold your this nacelle together, and on the bike you replace them with these new pieces here, and that's where the fairing mounts to. You've got a couple of notches in the bottom of the bracket right here, and you rotate it forward, and it's got these quick releases that clasp it on. It's a brilliant design. I love it. It makes it, if I don't have to put this on, I can just, you know, pop it off and put it back on. It's literally 10 seconds and I can change the look of the bike, and leave the fairing at home, or put it on and take the fairing with me. So let's talk about the fairing itself. So the mounting brackets, if you can see these guys right here, these 2 bolts go through to the back side. Flip it over. They go through to the back side, and that's how the brackets mount to your fairing. And you do have some adjustability there, which has been helpful to me because I was able to adjust it up and down and adjust it side to side with these other adjusters here. But you put the brackets together, you mount them to the fairing, then you mount it all to the bike and put the freaking windshield on. It's pretty easy. It's very simple to set up. It's extremely easy to put on. It's extremely easy to use. It does redirect the wind around you. There is a little bit of updraft from the wind is what I'll say, and I don't know if that would still be happening if I did not have the lower fairings and all I had was the engine guard there. So it's possible that updraft that I'm getting from around the fairing kind of hitting underneath the shirt and pushing up is because of the way the wind's flowing around the fairing, or it's because of the way that the wind is flowing around the fairing and hitting those lower fairings and getting redirected back up at me. Don't know. And I'm not going to take the time because those are not the easiest things to take off and put back on. I have zero desire to take them off and go for a ride just to see if it changes things. But the fairing itself, probably the biggest thing that I notice with the fairing is how well I can hear the speaker, and more specifically, what speeds I lose the ability to hear the speaker when it's cranked up, how clear I hear my sound, etc. Because that thing does cut enough wind that it keeps it out of my ears and it allows me to hear the speaker. I'm not going to tell you how fast I've been on the bike. What I can say is I've not found a speed. The bike cannot go fast enough for me not to be able to hear the speaker, is the way that I'll put that. So I've topped the bike out and still been able to hear the speaker with that windshield on. So I'm going to break away for a second, tear the front end of the bike apart so that I can put the fairing back on, and then come back and show it on the bike. Okay, we're back. It took about 2 minutes to take this ring right here off of this right here. And this, the stock like ring that goes around there stays in place when you have that cover on. But I wanted to give you, just show you how easy it is to put this thing on the bike. Literally align these brackets with the bottom, slide them in, slide it forward, and lock it on, and the fairing's attached to the motorcycle. And it completely changes the look. Again, it's one of the reasons I like this platform. I can that quickly make the bike look either like a Road King or make it look, a little sleeker on the front end is what I'll say. I've never been a big fan of fairings, big fairings on the front of bikes. Not that I don't like the look of bikes that are that way. It's more a thing of, it's not my jam. I don't enjoy riding them that much. I prefer something that's a little sleeker, a little more trim, or thinner. Now, what I said about the adjustments on the brackets, the reason that I had to adjust mine, because I could have this pulled in a little tighter against the headlight. There's a little bit of a gap there, and I could have it pulled in. But to do that, because of the bars that I have, and specifically because of the angle that I like to ride, that I like to have the bars at when I'm riding, I can't get it pulled in any closer and still maintain the angle of the bars. What ends up happening is the windshield ends up rubbing against the bar and scratching paint off of it, and it really won't even get back that far because of where the bars were. And so option one for me, if I want that sucked back, would be to rotate the bars backwards, and I really don't want to do that. I do not want to carry them this way at all because that changes the position of my hands. So I settled for adjusting it the way I needed to for it to fit my bike and still my bike feel like my bike when I'm riding it. And that's what it looks like. I can't say enough good things about this product from Memphis Shades. I really can't. And they are not sponsoring this video, by the way, guys. This is just something that I'm doing on my own because I figured, maybe somebody's out there with a Road King and they're looking for an option for something that would change the look of their bike and make it a little more comfortable to ride, especially on long distances. I gotta tell you, I've ridden to California and back on this bike without these handlebars and without this windshield. and it was a long trip. I dealt with a lot of pain, a lot of discomfort, and you know, it wasn't as enjoyable as the last trip I took to California when I had the fairing on it. When I rode to Sturgis, I did have the bars, but I did not have the fairing, and I can tell you, and David and Juan would attest to it. They'll tell you that when we took that ride, I was the one that was pretty much getting the crap beat out of them every day by the wind, and those guys were like, you know what, I'm not that tired today, when I was exhausted by the end of the day. Now, I was still able to ride, but it was exhausting. And so the first real long trip I took with the fairing on it was this last one that we did to California. And it was night and day in terms of my endurance on the motorcycle itself. I had zero problem doing over 700 miles in a day. I wasn't getting fatigued. I wasn't getting tired. It made a world of difference. Now, I will say this. My desire to have this as dark as it is has limited me to how high I can go with the windshield. Because in all honesty, if I went with the next size up, like a 13-inch, that would be absolutely perfect for me, and I would have a bubble of air going around the top of my head so that I wouldn't even realize that, you know, that there was wind noise or anything around me. But I don't want to go with the lighter windshield. I just don't. I have not noticed any impact other than it just keeps me cooler in hot climates by having the vented windshield versus a solid. This does let some air through, but the way that the air comes through, it's diffused and isn't like beating you anywhere. So I don't think that really makes that big of a difference. I wanted the ventilation. We live in a hot part of the country, and most of the time that I'm riding, it's warm. We go through the desert from time to time when we take these long trips, and that's extremely hot. So for me, I wanted something to make sure that I was getting enough air, because I had been so used to, for, you know, I don't know, call it 45,000 miles of the 60 that I've done on this bike, or the 61,000 that I've done on this bike. For 45,000 miles of that, I never had a windshield in front of me. So used to that feeling that I really wanted to maintain some of it, if that makes any sense. I wanted to still feel like I was out and not, you know, just completely protected from the wind by whatever I was putting on the bike. So in any case, I hope you enjoyed this review. If you like the channel, subscribe. Click the notification bell. I'm going to be doing more stuff like this. The next product review I will do is probably going to be this guy right here, the Kuryakin Road Thunder by MTX. That's probably the next one that I'm going to do, because that really was a cool addition to this bike that really kind of, you know, made my riding more enjoyable. But that's it for now. If you like the video, click that thumb button and like it. Any comments, any questions that you have about this product, feel free to leave them in the comments section of the video. I'll be happy to answer any and all questions. So in any case, guys, as always, ride safe.